All right, guys, I think we're live. Making sure I got a good connection here. If you guys can hear me, comment on the chat. Hopefully, right. Yellow Jacket Ram says loud and clear. All right, man, I'm going to take your word for it because my laptop, it looks fuzzy on my end, so I don't know. Maybe it's just having like a slow feedback or something. But yeah. Fast Hemi, I got the same Mopar sign, Summit Racing Store. Yep, that was a, I believe a Christmas present from the wife. Sent me, or got me that last year or year before. So yeah, we bring it in, we leave it in the trailer all the time, and every time we go race, we hang it on the door. I love it. Trying to let some more people get in here. And for those that don't know, we got a new time slip. We went and raced yesterday, and man, my computer is lagging. Looks like I don't know what's going on. Hopefully, you guys got a good connection. Yeah, Yellow Jacket saying it's getting choppy now. Yeah, I don't know what's up. I usually have good luck out here. Let me mess with something real quick. I don't know. Hopefully that's better. It looks better on my end now. We'll go with it and see what happens. So yeah. So yeah, we got a new time slip. We went racing yesterday. A few weeks back, as you guys know, we ran a 10:11 at 132 and some change. We went yesterday, we beat that. We ran a 10:088 at 133, and we had the best 60-foot time that we've ever had, like ever. We broke out of the 1.4s and we went into the 1.3s. We ran a 1.388 60-foot. Absolutely insane. Both front tires of the truck was off the ground. It was just wicked awesome. Felt like we were like going to the moon. It was insane. But we are so close to getting that 9. We're gonna make a few more tweaks and kind of see what we can do. But yep, let me see if I can. Hopefully the time slip will come in clear for you guys. Hopefully you can see that. We're in the right lane, and the timer system had a malfunction, so it didn't read the mile per hour correctly. But we did 133 per the draggy, and the draggy matched up pretty good with the time slip. So there's that. And we didn't blow it up. The the old truck lives another day, so we can put some more boost down its poor stock 5.7 Hemi. But yeah, so that log, when we ran yesterday, we made 22 pounds of boost, was peak boost on that pass. The DA was around, I think it was like 399 or just over 400. So we were much better air than last time. We just couldn't make it out. We had one good pass. That was the first pass right here. We let it cool down for about an hour, went back out, and it was the same scenario that happened to me last time. The track was doo-doo, and it would not hook anymore. At least, especially off of the trans brake and two-step. So we'll have to try again. We're going to try to hit it again maybe in another couple, 2-3 weeks, and see if we can get that 9. Me and Ryan at FRP, we've been talking a little bit. A lot of you guys know, we're still on the stock throttle body, the original throttle body. So he is wanting to try swapping that to a Hellcat throttle body and see if that's enough to pick up to get us at 9. I mean, personally, I believe we can get to 9 with, just a couple more tweaks, maybe adjusting the suspension a little bit more, little better air. If we could get closer to more like a 0 DA or negative, I know we could get it. But he wants to try a Hellcat throttle body, so I don't know if that'll make it on there before the next outing, but that might be a possibility. And that might push it over. That might get us at 9 easily. I was talking to Torque Storm also today, and we always race with the filter on the supercharger. I've never honestly raced it without the filter. And he suggested that maybe we should run it with no filter at the track only and just see what it does one pass. With the amount of boost and the CFM that the TS84 makes, he said without that filter on, it can be a pretty decent little pickup sometimes. So just doing that might put us into the 9. So yeah, there's a few things we're trying to play with. There's a lot of things we could change, obviously, to help us out. Like I said, stock throttle body. We still got stock heads, not ported. We're on a 17-inch drag pack, drag DOT radials. I mean, there's lots of things we could change to get us a 9 easily. We could take some weight out of the truck. The truck is still, we're doing these times with, we got Kirky racing seats, but we got 2 seats in the truck. We got the center console. We got carpet. We got door panels. We got the side mirrors on the truck, as you see in the trailer here. We could take some weight out and get that 9. But I really don't want to. I want to try to get the 9 just how it is, being a big old fat biatch that the truck is, and make it happen, man. So, I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Plus, we got the NITROUS kit. We got the old dry NITROUS kit still hooked up. And I know we could bump a little 35 shot and definitely go into the 9s. But we're trying to hold back. I want to do it on boost only. And I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel about it. Let me try to catch up with some of these comments, guys. Let's see. Marco. Just got my regular cab swap 392 with the Mark 82 and long tubes. 392 rear 4x4. What do you think I'll run? Alright, so you got a regular cab. So you got a regular cab 4x4? Am I reading that right? You got a 4x4 regular cab? That's super rare, if so. I mean, 4-wheel drive, if that's actually the case with a 392, maybe, is it an 8-speed? 8-speed, or are we talking like a 5-speed or 6-speed transmission here? Boosted Motorsports, what's up, brother? Do a trailer burnout. Man, we actually have a couple times on accident, especially when the tires get wet. Yeah, we got burnout marks back there. But we haven't done a full-on burnout. That would get pretty gnarly. Plus, I got smoke alarms in here. You know, if I wanted to spend the night in this thing, and yeah, we probably wouldn't last very long. Let's see. Marco says, yeah, man. I mean, okay, so 8-speed and a 4x4. I mean, this is an NA truck, I'm guessing. So, I mean, depending on if you're full weight or not, I mean, 11s probably should be very easy for you to get into, honestly. Considering there's been many, at least pretty light weight reduction gutted NA Rams that's managed to get into the mid to higher 10s. If you're a 4x4 8-speed with a 392, 11 should be fairly easy for you to hit. That's where I'm going to go with that. David Christie, what's up, man? What's up, buddy? I bet it's cold where you're at. They done sent you to the Polar Express, didn't they? Yeah, dude. I mean, Marco, I think that's a pretty realistic number, dude. You got some good numbers right there, and I think with proper tuning and with 4-wheel drive, dude, you shouldn't have a problem with grip. So I'm going to say 11 should be pretty easy to get for you. And then some. I mean, I think there's a lot of potential there, honestly. So you need to get it out on the track and start tweaking it. The dirty D is frozen. Yeah, I seen that text message you sent me earlier today. It was like 0 degrees, it said, on your truck dash. Nope, I'm good, buddy. I don't need that. David says tuning is key on these trucks. Yes, most definitely. I would say that's probably every bit of 50 to more than 50% of the whole deal is tuning. The other 50% would be the user. And yeah, we'll just go with that. So yeah, we were pretty stoked yesterday, guys. We took out Frostbite and we took out Project Storm. We took Zorro, the Challenger, out there as well. So we all kind of raced. The time slip I showed you, that was actually racing. That was me and Project Storm lined up next to each other. And we got a personal best on that truck as well. He ended up getting that truck finally into the 12s. And I think his best time was like a 12:790, something like that. And we were pretty stoked because we've been right there dead at the 13.0, 13.1 mark all season long last year and all summer. So finally, to get some decent air, we finally got that 12 for Project Storm. And most of you guys know that truck, but that's the 4x4 crew cab. That's a 2012 Ram truck, 5.7. It's a stock 5.7 on the original Torque Storm supercharger, and we got an air-to-air intercooler on it. It's running 93 pump gas and meth injection. and that is a daily driver. This truck gets driven every single day, and it's on just a basic little 17-inch kind of street tire drag radial setup. Nothing super light, just a little bit smaller tires, and it's heavy. We don't take any weight off of it besides the tailgate. I think that truck, when we weighed it's like 5,800 pounds. It's like massive. So for it to be doing what it's doing is pretty awesome. That's a 6-speed RFE transmission as well. So even, guys that, are blessed with the 8 speeds, it's hard to get the 5 and 6 speeds down, that's for sure. But that one's doing pretty good. We got a Circle D converter in that truck, which is helping tremendously. And we're launching it in 4 high. So we're able to get some decent grip with it. It's just heavy. So we may pulley that truck down eventually, because right now we have the 3.25 pulley on it. We may go down to a 3.1 next season. We'll see. But I think with a little more tweaks, we can probably get a little bit quicker in this cooler air that we have going on right now for the winter time. Zorro, the Challenger, that's the 14 Challenger RT Plus. That car's leather, sunroof, loaded, heated seats, everything. Didn't take any weight out of that car, and it is running just a basic FRP 93 pump gas tune right now. And it's actually on the first tune. We haven't even logged it and revised it yet, which we got a log at the track yesterday finally, so I got to send that off to FRP and have them tweak it and turn it up a little bit more. But that car ran 13,005. Like, it was right there breaking into the 12s, which was pretty awesome. We got regular stock street tires on the front of it. We do have a drag pack on the back, but that's a 14 car. It's a NAG 1 car, not an 8-speed, but I think that's pretty quick. I haven't seen many of those around that run that low, at least when I'm at the track. So we're just pretty stoked that it got down that low, and with a little more tweaks, I think we can get that thing into 12s pretty easily. Try to catch up here. David Christie says, impressive because he still has a stock cam. Yeah, I forgot, didn't even mention that, because Project Storm is still a stock cam. Like, it is absolutely stock. Stock cam. Like I said, we have a converter in it, we have the Torque Storm, and we do have a Holley high ram on it. But that is still running the factory cam. We haven't upgraded that yet, which that's one thing that's holding us back. But it's still running decent numbers for what it is and how heavy it is, for sure. So yeah, just kind of figure we come out here. It's supposed to get pretty cold the next few days, and may not be able to come out here and hang out in the old race trailer where I get some quiet time and talk to you guys for a minute. But definitely was a blast yesterday getting to the track. I will have those videos. I got to edit them still. But we got some pretty cool footage. It's awesome that, like I said, both front tires of Frostbite come off the ground, and I actually got a shot from both sides video wise, so it looks sick. It looks sick. I think we do need to adjust the suspension a little bit and try to see if we can limit that wheelie a little bit. The wheelie looks good for the gram, but it does rob you on time a little bit because it's taking a lot of that energy to come up. If we can get it to kind of not look so cool on the takeoff and just start moving, that would net us a little faster, I think. But I think it's pretty cool to pop the tires off the ground. That's just my opinion. Jason M. Frost, greetings. What's up, brother? Hope you're having a good time. We're just hanging out in the old race trailer. Talking about yesterday and possibly things to come. We'll see. Let's see. Jason says, I have a 19 Ram Rebel. I was going to add a pod lights to it, but found out. It won't let me see the rest of it. Where's that? Oh, Minnesota. They're, I'm guessing, illegal light bar. Wow, they won't let you have lights there, huh? That's crazy. Man, honestly, on light bars, brother, I really don't know. I don't have any. I've thought about putting one on my 2500 that we use to tow this rig with, but I haven't done it yet. I haven't even looked into them. I do believe I get a lot of stuff from, I don't know if you've heard of Spelab Auto Parts. It's SPELAB Auto Parts. And I think they just came out with some light bars. And they might be worth looking into because I think they're priced pretty dang good. But I know there's a ton of light bars out there. And honestly, man, I don't really have a good answer for you on that one. Yeah, I figured you meant illegal. That's nuts, though. Like, you can't have a light bar. That's crazy. Or pod lights. They must be super strict up there. So yeah, yesterday when we were racing Frostbite, after the first pass that we had the awesome launch, we had the 1.388 60 foot, and we ran the 10.088. We let the truck cool down for about an hour. We went back out, tried to make another pass, and didn't change anything. We just left it alone and let go of the trans brake button, which I had a feeling the track was, you could already tell it didn't look so good after all the other cars started going down and street cars started going down it. But let go of the button, blew the tires immediately, so we just rolled down the track and came back around, waited for about another hour, 45 minutes, somewhere in there. They re-prepped the track, so we tried to get back out there again. And before we went out, or before I was able to race, there was like an F-150. Don't know how quick it was going, but it was hauling pretty good. But he got like all the way down and, I don't know, blew up or something and just put oil everywhere. So that shut down the track for a while. They had to clean that up. So our prep was kind of deteriorating as they're doing that. And basically by the time I got back up, trying to make a third pass, I had already walked the track, and like your shoes wasn't even hardly sticking to anything, so it was doo-doo. So I knew the trans brake was not going to work at all for trying to get traction. So what we decided to do was just try to launch off the converter and experiment with the NITROUS kit that we do have on there, and try to hit the 35 shot once I shifted into third gear and just see how the motor reacts, see if we have any hiccups, if it sounded bad, yada, yada, yada. And so we launched off the converter, and even off the converter, we annihilated the tires. We had I don't have that time slip with me, it's in the house, but we had a 1.960 foot. Like I said, smoked the tires, pedaled it, got back into it, ended up with the 1.960 foot. Then, once we started, getting down the track, got into third gear, I flipped on the NITROUS system, and I could hear it. The motor picked up pretty good. Like it had a different tone. It picked up. I could tell the truck was going faster, and it sounded really good out the back end of the track. But the time slip really doesn't tell me a whole lot of anything, because the first half of it was doo-doo from all the tire spin. But we still ended up trapping 133 mile an hour on that pass with a terrible 60 foot. So there's that. We did that yesterday also. But yeah, we're playing around, guys. We're just trying to get this thing into the nines. So, but I want to do it on just a blower, so we're going to kind of keep pushing it. And while we got this good air, you know, hanging around Georgia for right now, we're going to keep trying to do it on just the blower without the nitrous. Nitrous is going to be my last resort to get me that 9. So we're going to try it with maybe a few more tweaks, make that bigger throttle body, and no air filter on the supercharger. I think we may be able to get it. Jason says, sorry for the spelling issues. It's -23, and I guess my phone doesn't want to work either. I've been watching your channel for a long time. Love the content. Bro, -23. I don't even think my body can work in those conditions. Yeah. I think us southern folk would just absolutely die. Oof. I can't even think about that. But yeah, I wouldn't want to work either, that's for sure. Christy. Yeah, man, shoot away. Ask away. We're hanging out here for a little bit. But yeah, it's just general talk, talking about what we did yesterday and what we might do and what you guys might do. What do you guys got going on? What's going on with y'all's builds? It looks like my laptop and everything's cooperating. At least it looks clear right now. So hopefully you guys can still hear me and it don't look too bad. It started out looking kind of grainy at first, but I think we're doing all right so far. One thing I want to bring up, and I don't know if we have anybody in here right now that's got some pretty serious builds, maybe even more serious than what we got going on behind me. But I've been thinking about some safety stuff a lot, guys. So I want to bring that up. I had somebody mention to me, it's actually a buddy up here in Georgia that has a speed shop he calls HP Racing. And he mentioned it to me the other day, and honestly, it was something I didn't even think about. And really got my head turning. But we have a stock block 5.7 Hemi, and we're putting 22 pounds of boost down it somehow, and it's working. I don't know. And he brought up the other day, have you ever considered a diaper, an engine diaper? And I was like, that's actually something I probably need to really consider getting, especially if we're going to keep pounding on the 5.7, you know, the stock 5.7 like we are. So what's y'all's opinions on that? So an engine diaper basically like cradles the bottom of the oil pan area block, and basically if you grenade it, blow it, send a rod through it, or make a window, the idea of that is to contain that oil or fluid in that diaper. Basically that little basket, it's like a best way to describe it is like a diaper, goes over the bottom of the motor and wraps around it, and it has like straps that comes up and bolts on the side of the block. I haven't done a lot of homework in looking at who makes some that fits our engines easily, or if there's universal ones or whatever, but he had a good suggestion there, I believe. So something I was thinking about, that might be something we might need to install, just for safety, possibly. The other thing is if we keep going faster, you know, we're going to have to probably start looking at maybe a cage or something. You know, because we don't just go out and race to test and tunes for the fast times. We do a lot of event racing. I wouldn't say like bracket racing, but we do a lot of some of the little shootout things and stuff like that. And they got, you know, they got rules, and we're getting down to the point where a lot of those are not going to let me run the numbers that we're running right now without stuff like that. So what do you guys think? Anybody doing any of that already? And as far as a cage goes for a 4th gen Ram, I have no idea. That's probably going to be something we got to custom do. I don't even know if there's a bolt-in kit for anything like that yet or what. Let's see. 3,000 watts. When do you plan to crack it open and go forging internals? Well, honestly, we've kind of been thinking about it for a long time. Thinking about it a lot more now, considering what we're doing with it. But the goal right now is I want to get into the 9s on the stock 5.7 without, hopefully, knock on wood, blowing it up before we do it. And if we can do that, then I'm going to probably seriously start considering what direction I want to go. Whether we, you know, bore this engine and go bigger, or just put drop-ins in it, or do a whole different short block, you know, entirely. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Or, you know, or if the worst happens and we hurt it, then, well, we'll definitely be doing something like that soon. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. Just haven't given a lot of thought, honestly. We're just kind of going day by day. The best I can put it. Let's see, Chris D. He's got an 18 Ram 4x4 5.7 Hemi. Got a Pro Charger on it, JBA shorties. Do you think a Holley High Ram would be worth throwing on? So, I'm going to tell you yes. There's probably going to be a handful of people tell you no, but I'm going to tell you yes. And the reason I'm going to tell you yes, one, it looks better than any other intake out there on the market, and it ain't plastic. Two, you can grow into that intake no matter what you do really with a truck. It's got way more potential than any other intake manifold out there. Three, being boosted, you're going to pick up power no matter what with that intake. So you are not going to lose power going to that intake. David Christie's on here, I believe still, and he has an NA Ram. It's still a 5.7 with a cam. He had the stock 5.7 manifold. He ended up putting a Holley High Ram manifold on it, and he didn't get a lot of track passes with the Holley High Ram before his tuner basically told him to put back on the original manifold. But I don't want to go into too much detail there, but at the end of the day, the Holley High Ram per the time slips on the NA 5.7, the numbers was no different, honestly. The time slips was very, very close, and that was on an NA 5.7. So, and I believe he's wanting to go back to the Holley High Ram, if I'm not mistaken. But for nitrous guys and boosted guys, that Holley High Ram is the way to go, especially for the Rams, because it does fit without having to change the hood. And There's even NA trucks out there starting to put those on their builds. So yeah, man, do it. The Holley High Ram is the way to go. That's my opinion. And they even have like, so I have the air to water intercooler, the 417 unit that's between the top plate and the lower manifold, which raises, gives me another 2 inches. But there's spacer plates out there that you can do similar thing and help, gain more torque, whatnot, with the Holley High Ram. But like I said, without even doing that, I would not be afraid to go to it, buddy, at all. Like, do it. George Lopez, you should bring Frostbite to Bakersfield, Cali racetrack, bro. Man, I've never been to Cali, ever. Maybe one day we can get a trip out there. To be honest, I was wanting to go to some of the Texas tracks, because they get insane DA weather this time of year, but I don't know how many's left. They shut down. I think last year they shut down Houston, which was like a famous track for, lots of YouTubers. I don't know what's left out there, to be honest, but yeah, we're trying to explore a little bit. We've been going to some other tracks that we haven't been to. We did the Rock last year, North Carolina, and that one was pretty cool. I like that one. We might be going back to that one again this year. But yeah, we're trying to do a couple different ones here and there every year, and just kind of explore the scenery a little bit. TJ Fry, I know that guy. That used to be my neighbor, and he does lots of repair work too. Granted, he's slowing down a little bit. He's trying to get a house built right now, but he's somebody I've had on the channel that does lots of installs and stuff like that. But yeah, man, we did the 6.4 Hemi. Guy picked it up this past Saturday, and that truck sounds good. And I was really impressed with the 6.4 in a 2500 chassis. Considering I have the same truck with a diesel, that it wasn't a dog. It was, it was pretty stout. So I was impressed. But yeah, it ended up, for a mild cam, it ended up sounding really good. And the Carnage muffler definitely brought the cam to life, considering the stock exhaust. But yeah, man, it turned out good, and it was fun. It was fun, that's for sure. Let's see. Marco says, would you build another, I don't know why this won't let me see the very end here. Whoops there. Would you build another Hemi to switch it up? Is that what you're asking? Oh, there it is. Yeah, well, I got these stupid emojis on my screen, and it blocks like half of what you guys read, and I don't know how to get rid of it. It's being dumb. But yeah, so Marco says, would you build another Hemi or switch it up? What do you mean exactly? Like a whole different motor besides a Hemi? Like a different manufacturer? You talking like a GM or something? Or what's the question exactly there? If it's about going to a different manufacturer, that will never happen. I'm going to stay Mopar or no car, brother. There will be no Ford, GM, any of that stuff going into my fat girl right here. That's just not going to happen. She's going to stay true. TJ Fry, can't believe the 5.7 stock bottom end is handling the 20 pounds of boost really well. I mean, you and me both, brother. Me and you both. Yesterday, like I was telling these guys earlier, we ran yesterday a 10.088, so we got even closer to the nines, and we logged 22 pounds of boost. 22 pounds of boost, and she sounds good. The E85, the meth injection, and FRP behind the keyboard is keeping this thing together for right now. So we're going to keep holding our fingers crossed and hope we can get that 9. Marco says, yeah, GMC or Ford. Yep, definitely not, man. Gonna be a Hemi. Gonna be a Hemi. I will say if I don't know, I don't think anyone's ever done it yet, but a Coyote in a Ram would be pretty awesome. I mean, I will say that. I'm not going to be the guy that does that, but that would be interesting to say the least. Marco says, that a boy, Hemi for life. Damn right. That's right. Yeah, a lot of people ask me because we got the transmission swap from CRT. So originally, Frostbite was a 5-speed 545 RFE transmission, which, you know, we finally grenaded that transmission a few years back. And we upgraded to CRT's fully built 46RE transmission, which is basically, it's a 4-speed. It's a manual valve body. I have a trans brake, and that, you know, I wanted to stay Mopar. I had a lot of people tell me, oh man, put a you know, TH400 in it, or, you know, what's the Ford 3-speed thing? I'm trying to think of a power, or no, that's a GM Power Glide. Put a Power Glide in it or something like that. And I mean, yeah, those are all good transmissions, but it don't go in a Mopar, man. I don't know. I feel like if you're going to change it, go to the 8 speeds, or do what I did, or go to a 727 or something like that. If you want to stay true. I don't know. That's my opinion. Sergeant Watts. I've got a 13 6-speed and wanting to do a mild NA build. Comments moved. From 93 fuel, looking into the Scoggin Stage 3 Hemi cam kit and forge kits. I mean, if you're going to stay on 93, I don't know if I would, I don't know if I would mess with the compression much, to be honest. If you're going to run higher octane fuel or race fuel or something, then I'd probably say it's worth it. But on 93, you're going to be limited to what you can really run. So, I would just probably stay with, just try to get a good cam kit, man. Again, shoot, there's Rams going into the 10s NA. You know, they're light, you know, weight reductions, big weight reduction, but they're getting down. They're getting fast. Probably a better question would be how fast do you want to go? Because that'll tell you what all you're really going to have to do. But yeah, Scoggin seems pretty legit. I don't know if you've looked into him, man, but I look into FRP. He's got a lot of cam kits out there, and they're good cams. Check them out. Modern Red Hemi, what's up, brother? Came in late. Was watching the Steelers lose to the Bills. I hear you. It's all good. We're just hanging out. George Lopez, how well do you recommend the Pulsar? Trying to think of what we're talking about. Is that dilly that plugs into like the OBD port or something? Because I'm not too familiar with it, to be honest. Modern Red, hey, I have a ProCharge 5.7. What should I do next? Go faster. More boost. Especially now you're forged. You need to find like a 2.0 pulley and just put like 30 pounds on it and send it, bro. I still got to catch up on your video. I seen you posted one the other day and I got to watch it still. Modern Red Hemi, twin turbos maybe. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. The twin turbskis. That would do her. Or one big fatty would do it. But yeah, the twin turbskis, man. You thinking about doing one of those Helions, whatever they're called, kits? They're I've seen some coyotes with those twin turbskis get down pretty good. And George Lopez, the PCM bypass. Brother, I don't know. If it's something that plugs into the OBD port and claims it does a bunch of stuff, I don't know. I mean, it might do something. But I'm going to tell you, to not waste your money, the best thing to do would just get some tuning software, man, or get a custom tune. I highly recommend HP tuners if you're going to change to anything. Or go, get a Diablo Sport, Trinity, or the cheaper unit. I can't remember the one that looks like a phone. But those actually work and does stuff, and you can get custom tuning with them at least. That pulsar thing you're talking about, I really don't know what it's capable of. Modern Red says custom build with oilless comp turbos. You trying to build a pro mod now? You trying to build a pro mod, Don? Are we talking on the same league here or what? Man, I just said we were talking about this just a little while ago before you came in, and I don't know if you are, but with how fast you're going, and you were pushing your stock 5.7, like I'm pushing mine. Have you ever thought of an engine diaper if something happened? What's your opinion on that? Or do you already have one? That's something I've been thinking about a lot lately with 22 pounds of boost on the stock 5.7. So someone mentioned that to me a couple days ago, just in case. And it was actually, I think he had a really good valid point. Maybe you can shed some light on that one. let's see, where are we at? Yellow Jacket Ram, Modern Red, you got to talk this man into running here at MRI. Eventually, I'm going to have to get up there and check you guys out for sure. It'd be definitely fun to get my hiney whipped by Don. You know, just to get the car and the truck together would be awesome. And then if we could get Nick, incredible Hemi up there, or Kong, I think is what he's calling it now. That would be dope. Big Guy Little World, what are some things we need to know that you had to find out after doing the 46 swap? So, well, there is quite a few things. Not really too much of a big deal, but depending on what kind of truck you have. So my truck's the 11, and it's the RT edition, so it had the center console shifter. And then you got trucks out there that's got the column shifter. But my transmission, the 46 RE transmission swap from Cope Racing, it is all manual valve body. There's no computer at all. No computer to operate the lockup. It's all manual buttons. There's 3 wires that makes the transmission work. So you go from having, I don't know, 49 wires probably from the old transmission to now you need 3 wires to make it work, which is pretty dope. But besides custom tuning, you gotta have custom tuning because you basically gotta turn a lot of stuff off on the PCM so you don't get engine or trans codes, issues like that. So lots of tuning involved to turn off all those codes and basically make the truck think it's a manual transmission more or less. Outside of that, like I said, I had I had the center console shifter. Took us a while to find this, but there's a little switch. It's like a brake or lockout switch or something that was in the console, and we found out that switch had to be depressed in order to make mine work. So that was one thing. Now, if you got a column shifter, I'm sure you got the same similar thing, but it may be in a different spot. Other than that, John, he's got the wiring diagram of where those 3 wires has to go, and one of them's a ground, so that's pretty easy. But other than that, it's mostly just tuning, and then the mounting your shifter, because you have to change your shifter. I got basically like a Pro Mod shifter or whatever you want to call it in the truck. It's a PPP shifter. So how you make your shifter work, whether you mount a pole on the floor or mount it to the console. I made a special board I cut a piece of MDF board and then had my wife wrap it with vinyl to try to match the interior of the truck, and we bolted it on top of that. Other than that, really not a big deal. But there's, like I said, tuning, getting those switches activated, and then figuring out how you want to make your shifter look and or work. Other than that, though, it bolts right to the block. You don't need anything special for that. The stock cross member worked. The stock drive shaft worked. We didn't have to change anything that wise. It bolted right up. We did drill new holes in the original cross member. That was really the only serious modification necessary. But everything else stock worked. The drive shaft, the cross member, bolted right up. And we did have to change the starter. So because I'm running long tubes, we had to get a special starter to fit that transmission and clear my long tubes. And John Cope has that starter part number or whatever it is on the site. But if you're running factory factory manifold still, which I doubt you probably would be. The starters are pretty common starter fits. It's not a big deal. Let me get caught up here. Don says, yes, sir. Sergeant 3000 watts. Just got a set of race stars for the rear. Still undecided on what tire I want. So I'm assuming you probably got 17s. I'm still running. I had race stars. Honestly, I love the way the race stars look. They're just heavy. So that's why I ended up going to the Forge stars, because the Forge stars are super light and they are like the best bang for the buck. They're cheap and they're light and they look decent. But we're running 17s. So 17. I'm running they'd be the 28-inch version of the Mickey Thompson ET Street R's. I think it's a 305 45 17, I think is the tire size. And I used to run the 315 50 17s, which equates to like a 29-inch tall tire. Either one of those work really good. I mean, if the track is actually prepped, I mean, obviously, you've seen the wheelies we do, the truck hooks, and those tires work. So hopefully that helps you out. Modern Red says, if you got a place to stay, if you do, brother, heck yeah, I might have to seriously consider that. We usually go to Michigan every year, and I think I'm going to leave Michigan off the list this time, because that is just, God, that drive is so long from Georgia. It's like, oof, it's rough. So I don't know if I'm going to go to Michigan again this year. We might try a different track out this time. Not to mention, I feel like my Michigan trip, every time we go, it's cursed. I end up blowing out 2 tires on the trailer or something like that. It's like we can't ever make that trip without tires blowing out. So we were talking about leaving that one off this year, possibly. But we're going to add maybe a different place. So we'll see what we can do. Modern Rest is definitely a valid point. Have thought about it just for safety sake. So yeah, you're talking about the diaper too. Yeah, man. Ever since he brought that to my attention the other day, I've been thinking about it really hard. If something did happen and you could keep that oil in there and it not get on the back tires when you're doing, 130 something miles an hour, and shoot, I think you're up to what, almost 140 now. A few $100 or something for that diaper might really be worth it. Only problem is, I think I have found that you can't really daily drive with them on there. At least I think that's what I've been told, or what I was seeing when I did kind of look into them. So that might kind of suck. You'd have to take it off all the time. But it sounds like, it really can't hurt you, especially as much as we're pushing our vehicles. So something I'm really thinking about. Yes, Sergeant says, I think the diaper would be worth it if it doesn't hurt performance. Yeah, I don't see it hurting performance. It doesn't weigh nothing to really talk about. It's more or less fabric. The only thing I was wondering is, and maybe that's why they don't want you to daily drive with them, is your oil temperature may get hot or get warmer because it wraps around the oil pan. So that might kind of restrict some of the oil cooling, possibly. But yeah, I think it's definitely something to think about. Modern Red says, gotta run, brother. Check y'all out later. All right, buddy. Take care, man. Stay safe out there, bro. Let's see, try to get caught up here. Big guy, little world said, awesome, thank you. No problem, brother. Trying to skim through here, see if I missed anything. If I didn't get to your comment, just resend it there and I'll see if I can get it. Sometimes they don't go through and sometimes they glitch, so. Yellow Jacket Ram, Georgia to Maryland, not that bad. I purchased my Rumblebee from Alpharetta and drove home all in one day. Yeah, I think I've looked into it before. Like Michigan, I want to say is like 14 hours if you don't stop. I want to say that's right. That, or it could be 12 something hours if you don't stop, something like that. And I feel like Maryland's probably what, in that 8 range, somewhere in there. But yeah, there's not too many Rumblebees. Where did you which one did you get? Because I know there was one down around that area that used to go to a thing we call Caffeine and Octane all the time. And that Rumblebee was sick. I think, if I remember right, it had like twin turbos, or maybe it was just a big Pro Charger on it or something. You didn't buy that one, did you? Let's see. Chris D. Would my Diablo be able to handle tuning if I installed the high ram? Yeah. So, Diablo Sport more or less can do pretty much everything HP tuners can do for the most part. So doing a high ram on that shouldn't be no problem. Where the HP tuners starts to get better is there's a lot of tuners kind of only going to HP tuners now, because there is a lot of things better about HP tuners and or easier to use. And a lot of shops, a lot of the actual speed shops, you know, they only use HP tuners. But if your tuner is still using Diablo, there's no problem with being able to adjust for the high ram. Diablo will be able to handle that with no problem. Yellow Jacket Ram, nah, she was stock. Okay. Yeah, there was one that used to be down around that area that was... I got a video of it on the channel when we went to Caffeine and Octane, and I can't remember which video it is, but I got some good shots of it, and that was a awesome looking gnarly Rumblebee. It was awesome. I wish I could have heard it running, but I could not find the guy. All right, looks like, wow, we've already been at this over an hour now. So yeah, we'll give it a few more minutes. If you guys got any more questions, hurry up and ask away, and I'll try to get you. We might give it another 5 minutes or so. I'm probably getting low on battery life anyway. But yeah, hopefully in the next, like I said, hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks we can get back out to the track and hopefully get that 9. God, we're so close. So close. I know on the last slip we just had the other day, when I was looking at the draggy, I was like, oh man, please let the draggy be like a 10th off like it normally is and give me that 9. But it was pretty dead on. It was close. Christy, thanks for the info. When do you think you will get your 9? Second quarter. Man, I really thought I was going to get it yesterday. Really did. Considering a few weeks ago when we ran the 1011, we had 1,000 DA. And then yesterday we had just over 400 DA. And we went faster. We did better. But we need a little bit more. So we either need to get a 0 DA or negative DA, or make some tweaks or change something a little bit. So I feel like if we can hang out in that DA on the within the next couple weeks, when we can get back out, I feel pretty confident we'll get the 9 on the next outing. Because we're going to change at least a couple things, or at least one for sure. We're going to try racing without the air filter on the supercharger. That may help us. You know, that's a little thing, but it might actually help a lot. So we're going to try that for the first time and see if it helps. We have a Hellcat throttle body that, if it can get here in time, we're going to swap that out and see if going to a Hellcat throttle body helps pick it up a little bit. So yeah, between those two things, if we can get those done before the next track outing, I think the next piece of paper that I have hopefully will be a 9. So yeah, cross your fingers and let's hope for it. Yellow Jacket, good chat. We'll catch on the next one. Yeah, you too, man. Take care, bud. Sergeant 3,000 watts. Let's see. Hello. Go back down. Sergeant Watts says, "What's your drop-in brake set?" You talking about my what brakes I'm running? Believe it or not, if we're talking about just brakes or whatever, the rear calipers are still stock. The front calipers are stock AutoZone calipers, to be honest. Because the last time they went bad at the track, we had to swap them out at Mopar. So we have just basically stock calipers all the way around it still. We do have the having a brain fart here, but the oh man, I can't think. Power stop. We got one of the basic power stop drilled rotor pad kit on it. So that's it. Nothing crazy. If we keep going, we might have to change that, but as of right now, she's able to stop pretty good. And I usually on a track, there's always 2 turnoffs. You got your first turnoff and your second turnoff. And the second turnoff is like way back there. And if I want to make that first turnoff, I would have to get on the brakes pretty hard. And I try not to do that. I always go to the second turnoff, because with how heavy the truck is and with the stock brakes, I can slow it down easier and safer, I feel like, without having to heat up the brakes too bad. So, but yeah, right now we're basically stock stuff, just power stop rotors and pads. Chris D, best of luck on your next track day. Hopefully the Mopar guys will be with you. Yeah, man. We praying to the Mopar gods every time. So yeah, that'll work, guys. I think that's gonna do it. We'll see you guys soon, and hopefully next time we're out here chatting, we'll be talking about a 9-second pass on the fat girl here on a stock block 5.7 Hemi. So y'all stay safe out there, and we'll see you guys on the next one.